Hi everybody, it's Thomas here from Thomas Fitzgerald Photography, and in this short video I want to show you how to install and use the new XMP presets and profiles for Lightroom and Photoshop. So in this example I'm going to be using the new set that I've created, which is Alpine for Lightroom and Photoshop, and this is basically a set of presets. I designed them for kind of forest imagery and kind of to give you that kind of woodsman look. So one of the things about these is that some people are finding it a little kind of confusing to install the new presets because the process is a little different than it used to be, but it's actually not that complex once you kind of figure it out. So in this video I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm going to show you just exactly where to put things. Now, just one point, this is for the Mac. I don't have a PC, so I'm afraid I can't show you how this works on a PC, but it's more or less the same. And if you have these presets, the README file tells you the exact location where to put it. So let's just assume you have bought Alpine, or you have some other third-party preset that has kind of that is the same thing, that is using the new XMP format. So let me just hide this. So if you have downloaded, say, Alpine, I have this package comes with both presets and profiles. So it also includes a README file. So if you open the README, I have the exact location where you need to put your files. So the easiest thing to do is to copy and paste this. So if I select this here in the PDF and I'm going to copy it. So copy. Okay, and I don't need that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open a new window, and I'm going to do Command-Shift-G, or you can also get this from the Go menu. Go to folder, which is what I've just opened. So paste this in, and this will bring you to your user folder, library, application support, Adobe, camera raw, settings. So if we go here, and this is where you will put the files. So I've already copied these in already, so I'm not going to do it again, but basically here's what you will do. So the way I've created Alpine, it has both presets and profiles, so they actually both go into the same folder. However, because they're handled slightly differently, this is the way I've kind of segregated them in my download, and this might be a little bit confusing, so apologies. So in the presets folder, there is another folder called Alpine, which contains the actual presets. So all you do is just drag this over. So I'm going to do this, and it'll ask me, do you want to replace it? And I'm going to go, no, but you won't have these already, so you won't have that error. And then for the profiles, now when you create profiles in Photoshop, it actually creates them loose in the settings folder. So that's kind of the way I have decided to keep them, and that's the instructions I have. But you can actually put them in a subfolder, and Lightroom and Photoshop will still see them. But for the purposes of keeping with the way Adobe does it, this is how I recommend for the moment anyway, until they give us contradictory information. So for this case, in the profiles folder, you literally just copy them, and again, straight into the settings folder on their own. And again, in this case, it's going to ask me, do I want to replace it, because I already have them in here, and I don't. You won't have them if you're downloading them, obviously, and you won't get this warning. But anyway, so I'm just going to hit stop. So that's all there is to installing it. If you're on a PC, this folder is in a different location, and you're using Windows Explorer, obviously, instead of the Mac Finder. But once you do that, if you already have Lightroom or Photoshop open, you need to restart it. So I've closed it already, so I'm going to fire up Lightroom. And if I switch over to the Develop module, Alpine comes with both presets and profiles. So first, if we take a look at the presets, they should be in your preset browser as normal. So again, with the latest version of Lightroom, you will get a full screen preview. So if I hover over these, you kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. So in this case, say, let's just pick one. Maybe this is kind of nice. So we can go with this. Okay, so that's a preset applied. So if I undo that, and then we also have profiles. So if once you've installed the profiles, they will come up in the profile manager. So you get that on the right hand side of the interface at the very top. So beside where it says profile, you should see this little button, and that is your profile browser. So if we scroll to the bottom of this, or depending on how many other ones you have, Alpine will be in here somewhere. So here is the presets, or the profiles. So again, I've just included a smaller selection of profiles because it's a fairly new thing and I didn't kind of want to overload. But so here is the Alpine flowers profile. So once you've applied this, you can actually control the amount. So you can either go negative or you can actually go positive as well. Okay, and click close. So once you've applied a profile, then your settings are all still at 0, so you can actually then go and edit it more. And that's kind of one of the advantages of profiles. One of the things to note about profiles is it does actually limit what you can do on certain things. So for example, this profile actually contains a vignette in it, so it will actually limit the amount of vignetting you can do using the creative vignette afterwards. So as you can see, the vignette no longer works, which is kind of one of the limitations of it. Again, this will vary from profile to profile. The other thing to note is you can actually combine profiles and presets. So I've applied one of the Alpine profiles, but I can also use a preset with that to create kind of a double effect, which in this case is probably going to be a bit too much. So let's say first floor first contrast. So one of the things to note, if you want to do this, you have to apply the preset and then change the profile. So I have applied the preset first, and I'm going to go down now and apply one of the profiles. So again, I'll just use this one. So again, you're now getting kind of a double effect, but you can fade the profile off then as well. And that just kind of gives you an idea of kind of the flexibility of having both systems. So one of the other things about this that's kind of advantageous is since they came out with this new system, one of the good things about it is it works for both Lightroom and Photoshop. So presets are now shared between both. So that is why Alpine works with both Lightroom and Photoshop. So if I switch over to Photoshop, I will show you how to use the presets in Photoshop. Okay, so now we are in Photoshop, and if I double click on this, I can bring up Camera Raw. Okay, so in Camera Raw, the preset browser is over here, and you can see all your presets that you have installed. And again, here is Alpine. So again, nothing kind of out of the ordinary here. So for example, I can use Forest Floor or say Moss, if you like that one. And again, to change the profiles, you go here to the first tab, which is the basic tab. So that is the first tab on the interface on the left, sorry. And then again, to click on the little kind of four squares if you want to browse your profiles. And your profiles should be in here as well. So again, if I scroll down, you will see your user profiles are generally in the bottom. The way these are grouped, it kind of depends on the way the profiles are set up. So again, if I want to combine a profile and a preset, I can do that if I want to, or I could have just applied a profile. And again, I can fade this up or down. So in this case, I'm going to fade it down a bit. Okay. And then you can just click OK. And this will update the smart object. Okay, so if I go to my history palette, I can see there was the original, and there is after applying a preset and a profile. So obviously you don't have to apply the profiles as well. You can do either or. You can just apply a profile or you can just apply a preset. But that's just giving you an example of one of the advantages of the new system is that you can apply both, and also that you can use them in both Photoshop and Lightroom. So that is just a very, very quick overview of how to install Alpine for Lightroom and how to use it in both Lightroom and Photoshop. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you want to check out Alpine, you can see it on my store, and the link will be in the description below. And I'll also check out my other presets as well. Okay, I hope you found this useful, and if you already have Alpine, thanks for buying it, and I hope you're getting good use out of it. And if you have any images to share, why not leave a link in the comments below. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.